Xbox is in the news again, and it's on the bad side of news again. People are saying it's going to die again. It's not. Let's get into it. This is the GameTHOTS, thoughts, humble opinions, trolls, strategy. Most of the time I'm defending Xbox when I'm talking about them. I'm actually pretty upset with them and Sony right now as a whole with this new Ready or Not stuff that's going on, proving that realistic games have a double standard on consoles. That's ridiculous, but if you want to see what's up with that video and you haven't watched it, go check it out on the channel. We do this kind of stuff. Streams, shorts. I really don't feel like it's going to die. Microsoft has been selling the Xbox at a loss since the very first one. Microsoft is one of the biggest companies in the world. The Xbox brand, like if you want to say like Xbox is dying, as in like we might only get one more console generation as far as like an actual box, I could maybe see that. But with Game Pass being on everything, down to all the new Samsung TVs, the new VR integration, all of the stuff going to PlayStation, the fact that Helldivers 2 is coming over from PlayStation, all of that extra money, they have mobile game money. Blizzard is a shit show, but they do have that, and at any point, if they can just change their ways, people want to have good games. Now, the cloud initiative bothers me. Unless you have extremely good internet and you're the only person in your house using it, it doesn't work good enough for most people in most places for them to be putting that much emphasis on it. But if everything is going that direction in that way, I think it's more of a reason why they're not going to go anywhere. They already have the subscription service. It has already been a win for them. It's definitely a double-edged sword. I love Game Pass. I am actually one of the people, like, I don't think there's a point in having an Xbox if you're not using Game Pass, but Game Pass has already shown us that it can be a bad thing, too. There are a lot of cut corners and games that came out on purpose without being fully ready, not just being forced out. You guys know what I mean. I mean, look at that Redfall or whatever that was called. That was a travesty. And just a bunch of other ones. I don't want to hate on any game in particular, but the narrative has been out there, and on that side of it, I do agree. But I feel like for the last 5 or 6 years, and really since the Xbox One generation, there's always the new articles like, oh, is Xbox dying? Is this, that, and the blah, blah, blah. There have been a lot of people fired, but really, when you're number 3 and you keep on putting out games that people don't like and games keep flopping and all of that, kind of makes sense. When you're in an entertainment industry, you're going to lose your job. And they were saying also a lot of the jobs that were lost were layers of management teams and stuff like that. My way of thinking, because this is an opinion piece after all, if we have more people and focus in on what we're good at, and have more people that are actually hands-on with the projects and less oversight, we can focus more money on the right things. That's all. We all know they are the kings of fumbling no-brainer things. They took too much time, got too into the store and all the new age BS with Halo Infinite. So now it's one of the FPS games, especially on console, with the most content on it that nobody is playing. This Gears of War Ultimate was the most bare minimum thing they could possibly do because they're working on Gears E-Day. That's terrible. They have to change. Like, they need to get back to, these are our games. This is our flagship titles. They don't need to be like Sony. Like, we don't need, single player samurai sword girl games. Like, I like those too. But that Xbox shooter first, it's a Western console. So let's treat it like that. And then, even this last conference that happened, you see most of the games were catered to an audience that they're trying to grab and trying to latch onto. And it's like, you can't fully forget your audience that you already have built in. We really deserve better than that. And just back to the, double standards, FPS games have always been the top thing that Xbox player base was on. That and like a couple of different RPG franchises, but like, back especially when we were in the 360 era, like that was the console to play multiplayer on. That was where you were playing your Halos and playing your multiplayer shooters. And now come 10, 15 years down the road, even longer actually, and We can't even have anything that is tuned for us. That now that we are all adults, we're having to have things censored to come over to console that are the kinds of shooters we want, which I got way too far into that on the other video. But still, it's like they're pivoting in all these different directions. They're trying to change. They're in third. There is a lot of stuff bad going on. But at the same time, they own Call of Duty. They own King and the Blizzard, which like King is like a shit ton of mobile games. Mobile game money is insane, as much as I hate mobile gaming. And they've always sold the console at a loss. So I just don't understand why that narrative is always popping up. Now, there are a lot of shitty journalists that just want to keep that narrative going, and I do think for whatever reason, the games media has issue with Xbox, and maybe it's because they keep to themselves more and internally report things. I don't know. We really need a better way to measure what's going on with the console sales, and the consoles should be more forward about it, because Steam is treated way too much like the zeitgeist of what's going on. It's really not, because most of the time what's going on console and what's going on PC are two different things anyway. Even if you're playing the same game, it just feels different. Because, yeah, we're slower, but everybody's on the same playing field, unless you have shitty internet. Whereas PCs, there's so many different builds, so many different things can go wrong. None of that matters, though. What do you guys think? Probably you guys think that Xbox is dying, because nowadays people really like to flock with whatever the popular opinion is. But I think if they are going to die, it's going to be in the aspect of they might not be a console anymore. But Microsoft gaming is always going to be a thing. And for me, that's always going to be considered Xbox. And that's what people aren't understanding, I think. That's what it is. But anything else will just be rambling. What do you guys think? Let me know. Just don't be ignorant about it. I'll have a conversation with you even if you disagree. Just put a little thought into it. This has been the GameTHOTS. Thoughts, some opinions, trolls, strategy. Up later this month, we got Ready or Not. Going to be taking the channel over with short streams and videos. More Dragon Ball Sparking Zero content. Season 3 Arrival. We got more Death Stranding coming y'all's way. We're continuing the Resident Evil marathon. It's going to be a good time. We just finished Resident Evil 1 HD all the way through. That's under the past live stream tab. Everything live is always left up for when y'all have time to watch it. And I think that is about it for the spiel. At the end of the month, we got Delta Force dropping on console finally. So hopefully that's going to be good as well. So hopefully we can pivot more back into multiplayer, because finally there's some multiplayer we want to play. Most of our content's on Xbox. We do PS5 whenever they drop exclusives. And eventually I get on the Switch too when there's more games and I got some dollars to do it. We are extremely close to being able to be monetized on here. I appreciate every second you guys give me. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. Later, y'all.